Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to BJ Learn. And today I want us to continue with the ETL process under the subtopic data cleaning, which is under transform. Um, data cleaning is a process of identifying and correcting errors. We also correct inconsistencies. We correct inaccuracies so that we can improve the quality and reliability of that data. So the purpose of data cleaning is to ensure that data is accurate, complete, free from errors or inconsistencies. So the key activities when cleaning data, we have handling missing values, removing duplicates. We also have correcting errors, uh, having standardized formats, removing outliers, and also dealing with inconsistent data. So I want us to do this practically rather than just naming the key activities. So we'll start by handling missing values. So I will come here to Power BI desktop. So first we need to connect to the data source. I'll click here under get data. Then I'm connecting to Excel workbook. So I'll choose the Excel workbook. Then I'll choose this workbook for data cleaning. Then now I open. So first we are starting with handling missing values. I will go to this table for missing values, and then you can also see the preview of the missing values table. Then I'll click transform because we are not loading it to Power BI directly because we still need to clean the table. I'll click transform. So transform will take us to Power Query Editor. So here we have the missing values as a query, and the preview is also here. And then on the query settings, we also have the applied steps. So when we change anything in this query, we'll see the changes on the query settings pane. So on this table, we can see under the column for age, we have a null value. Again, under the column for email, we also have a null value. So when we know the value of the null value, we can insert that value. But when we don't know the values of these null values, we can filter out the missing values so that we can use the values that we know. So let's assume that we know the null values, so we want to fill in the missing values. So we know that the age of Jane Smith is 32. So we'll click on this null value here, and then we'll go to under this group of commands of transform. So we'll click here the replace values. Remember the replace value under the transform command is under the home tab, and then we'll come here under the grouping of transform. Then we'll click on the replace values. So I'll click here replace values. So we know the age of Jane Smith is 32. So here we'll just write 32. Then we click OK. Again, now the name of the email of Jane Smith, we can tell from other email addresses. So here we can say this one is jane.smith@email.com. So again, we'll click this null value, then replace values. So we'll come here and say jane.smith@email.com. So after filling in the email, then we'll click OK to replace the value. So now we have our data is already been cleaned. And then when you go to the query settings, where we have the applied steps, we can see the steps that we followed to clean our query. And then from here, now that the query is has been cleaned, or the data has been cleaned, we can come to home tab again, and then click under close and apply. Then we'll close and apply. So when clicking close and apply, it means that we are loading the query to Power BI desktop. So now we have the missing values table under the data pane within the Power BI desktop. So now when we want to create a table, just come here under the visualization pane and click on a visualization icon that we want to use to create a visual. So let's try to use the stacked column chart. Then let's try to expand uh, the missing values table so that we can see the fields. So we'll drag, let's drag the name and drop under X axis, and then again we'll drag the age and drop under Y axis. So here already we have our rather we have our visual, but I'm still seeing the null value. So let's again check why we have the null value um, under the names. So let's click on these missing values so that we can see the table. So I'll come here to table view. So again, we still have the null value under the name column. So again, I'll go back to home tab. Then I'll click transform. So transform here will take me back to uh, Power Query Editor so that we can fill in the null value. So when I come here, I can see we have the null value under name for Steve.Jones. So I know this one is Steve Jones. So I will click the null value and then click the command for replace values. Then here I will write Steve Jones. Then I'll click OK. So now our query is clean. So again, we can click close and apply. So now you can see the query is cleaned. We go back to report view. You can see where we had the null value for name, and now we have Steve Jones. So that's how to work with or that's how to clean the missing values. So let's go back and see how we can remove duplicates. Again, I will come back here to get data. So I'll click the data cleaning um, data cleaning data set, then open. So now we are dealing with the duplicate records. So I'll choose this table for duplicate records, and then again you can also see the preview where we have the duplicate rows. So I'll click again transform data to take us to Power Query Editor, and then from there now we can remove the duplicates. Then now from this table we have, or rather on the first column, just on top of the numbers where we have the numbers 1 to up to 6, the row numbers just on top, you can see we have a table here. So when I click on this table, it will give me options to choose. So these options we have where we can remove duplicates, remove errors, merge queries, and all that. But here is a case where we want to remove duplicates. But before I click on removing duplicates, let me just go back to the table itself again. So when I click on this column for name again, um, we have where we have reduced rows. Um, we have a group of commands where we have reduced rows. So I'll click here on remove rows. So when I click on remove rows, you can see now we have an option of removing duplicates. So I can either use this, or rather I can as well click on this table here and then come down here to this command for remove duplicates. Then I will click remove duplicates. So now you can see we've removed all the duplicates, and now our data is clean. And then again you can see under the applied steps we have the steps that have been followed to clean the data, of which we have remove duplicate as the last step. So having cleaned our data, we can come here and close and apply. So closing and applying means that we are loading our data into Power BI Desktop. So now under the data pane, you can see we have the table for, rather the fields, the table for duplicate records. And then when we expand on this table, you can see we have various fields for age, email, and name. Then using this, we can also create another visual. So again, let me take you back to the, rather to another activity. Now we have to, I want us to remove the outliers. I want to clean our data by removing outliers. So again, I'll come back here to get data, click Excel workbook, then I'll select this table for data cleaning, then open. Now we are doing with outliers, so I'll click this table for outliers, and then you can see the preview where we have age for, we have the columns for employee name, age, and salary, and under the age we have values as 25, 30, 35, 120, and 210. And by reasoning, we know that employees mostly they will retire before the age of 100, maybe 65 or 75. Between 65 or 75, some will retire at the age of 50, 55. So we know that at the age of 120, an employee cannot be within an organization. So these 120 and 210 are outliers. And then when you go to salary again, you have a salary of negative 1,000, which is not true. Salary can be zero or a positive number. So salary can be zero, meaning that you are not paid, but you are within the system, or it can be above zero. So negative salary, it means that it is an outlier. So we'll try to remove the outliers of 120 to 10, and this negative 1,000 as salary. So first we'll click to, we'll click under this command for transform data. So the transform data will take us to Power Query Editor. So here we are. We need to do away with outliers. So how to do away with outliers is to filter them out. In most cases, you'll find the outliers are not many. So the best thing is to filter them out. So here we'll click, um, I will come here where we have the edge column. So I want to sort, I can sort this column ascending or descending. Now it's been sorted in ascending order. So I just want to filter out the outliers, which I have as 120 and 210, and then I'll click OK. And then again, going to the last column for salary, again I will filter out this negative 1000 because it is, I will filter out the negative 1000 because it is an outlier. So I will untick this negative 1000. So having our data cleaned, now we can click close and apply to load the data into Power BI desktop. So again, we can also clean data by dealing with inconsistent data. So again, let me try to connect to the data source. So I'll click get data and I'll choose this Excel workbook. Then data cleaning. Then we open. So here we'll choose the inconsistent category. So here we can see on the preview we have under category we have electronics. We also have electronic in caps, and then we also have electronic instead of electronics. We have gadget, and then we have gadgets. So this is what we want to clean. So we'll again click transform. So under category, where we've written electronic in caps, we'll write electronics in small caps. So first I will click electronics. I will copy this because I want the data to be consistent. Then I will again click on electronic. Then I will go under this command where we have transform. So I want to replace values. So I will replace the electronic cap with electronics in small letters. Then okay. Then again I also have where we have electronic. So again I will click electronic. Then use the command replace values. Then I will replace the values with electronics. Then click OK. And then now we have this other inconsistent category of gadgets. So first I will copy the gadgets. Then again click on this one written gadget. Then click on replace values. So I will replace the value gadget with gadgets. So now you can see under applied steps how we have changed the data, rather the steps that we follow to clean the data. And now that the data is clean, we'll click close and apply under the home tab. So we've cleaned the inconsistent category again, and again we need to correct some errors where instead of having maybe a name like United States, we are writing USA. So again, the naming is not consistent. So again, let me try to bring in a different data sets. So now we'll click here, get data, so that we can connect to the data source. Then I'll select Excel workbook. Then I'll select this one for data cleaning. Then we open. So I'm looking for where we have the inconsistent formatting. Let me see this. So this is what I was talking about, where we have under region column, we have United Kingdom, and we also have UK, we have USA, and we also have United States. So we want to be consistent with the uh, naming the regions. So I'll click again transform to take us to Power Query Editor. Um, then for me, I will choose, rather, I will deal with the column region. Then I will copy this United Kingdom text. Then I will replace the UK values. I will click UK cell. Then click the replace values command. Then I will replace UK with United Kingdom. The same applies to USA. So I will pick this value for USA and copy. Then I will click this cell where we have USA and then replace the values with United States. Then click OK. So now our data is clean, and again you can see the applied steps uh, that have been used to clean our data. So now that our data is clean, now we can we can click close and apply command to load the data into Power BI. So we've loaded our data into Power BI, and now we have various tables for duplicate records, inconsistent category, inconsistent formatting, missing values, and outliers. So that was all about data cleaning, and we've only used the key activities that we do in data cleaning. So when we come back, we'll talk about data transformation. So thanks a lot for watching, and let's meet again on the next class.